Please be seated. Ka mihi nui ki a tātou katoa. In the name of the University of Otago, I, Royden Somerville, Chancellor, warmly welcome distinguished guests, members, graduates and friends of the University to this May graduation ceremony. I wish to acknowledge the Mayor of Dunedin, His Worship Aaron Hawkins, who is a proud graduate of our university. I also wish to acknowledge the presence of the Chancellor of Victoria University of Wellington, Mr. Neil Pavia-Smith. Welcome. We're all very conscious of how marvellous it is to congregate in this splendid town hall after the challenges of last year, when all our public graduation ceremonies were cancelled. To you who are about to graduate or receive diplomas, thank you for choosing the University of Otago. It is New Zealand's first university, with a rich history spanning over 151 years, and a fine reputation as a prestigious world-class public university. And thank you also for electing to be here in person. This allows others to share in celebrating your success, including your family and friends, and the academic and professional staff who have helped you during your studies. This is a transformative time for you, and your success affords us great optimism and hope for the future. I now call on Professor Broughton to give a formal Maori speech of welcome.
He aha te mea nui o te au, mākua ki ake, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. What is the most important thing in the world? I will say it is people, it is people, it is people. Ti hei Maori ora, behold the breath of life. Te whare wānanga o Otago, te parai kai waho tēnā korua. To this House of Learning, the University of Otago, and the Forum of the University, greetings. I ngā mate I runga I o tātou marae, haere koutou, haere koutou, haere koutou. We acknowledge all those who have gone before. Te rangatira o Otipoti, the late Worship, the Mayor, Mr. Dave Cull, haere, 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 haere ki tō mātua I te rangi. Nō reira, te hunga ora tēnā koutou. E te kanohi o te whare wānanga o Otago, Chancellor, tēnā koe. E te tumuaki tuarua, Pro-Chancellor, tēnā koe. E te tumuaki tautoka, Acting Vice-Chancellor, tēnā koe. E te rangatira o te puti, Your Worship the Mayor, Aaron, tēnā koe. Greetings. E ngā mema o te kanihi te whare wānanga o Otago, members of the University Council, tēnā koutou. E te kai kōrero I tēnei rā, Dr. Gemma Gigan, tēnā koe. Greetings to you, Dr. Gigan, our speaker for today. E ngā manu kura deans, e ngā ahorangi professors, e hoa my colleagues, tēnā koutou katoa. Kei te tuahau ki te mihi whakatau ki a koutou, mo te whare wānanga o Otago ki te reo o ngā runanga o Ngaitahu o tēnei rohe, ko Otago, ko Huirapa, ko Moeraki. I stand to greet you today on behalf of the University of Otago with the voice of the Ngaitahu people of this place, the people of Otago, Huirapa and Moeraki. Whakatau mai, whakatau mai, whakatau mai rā. Welcome to you all. I ngā manuhiri tuarangi, ko tai mai nei ki tēnei hui whakapotai, hara mai, no mai. To the many visitors, friends, families who have come for this graduation ceremony, welcome. Nō reira, e ngā iwi o ngā haue whāta, all those gathered here from the four winds, nō te tai Tokaro from the north, nō te tai Rāwhiti from the east, nō te tai Hauru from the west, and nō te tai Tongohoki from here in the south. Hara mai, no mai, welcome. Ngā waka o te motu, ngā whānau, ngā hapu, ngā iwi katoa, tēnā koutou. I ngā tangata katoa no te moana nui a Kiwa, and to the people from across the Pacific, ta alofa lava, ma loilale, nisambula vanaka, kia ora ana, I ora ana, aloha. I ngā whakatipuranga hau o Paitahi, ka nui ngā mihi kia koutou. And to our new generation of graduates and diplomats, greetings to you all. I ngā korowai whero, and to our PhD graduates, tēnā koutou katoa. I ngā paitahi katoa kua huhu mai nei, I tēnei rā mō tēnei whiwhi tohu mātaranga, te rā nui mō koutou me tō whānau hoki. So greetings to you gathered here today for this graduation, a special day for you and for all your families. Through your own hard work and achievements, you have created new opportunities, horizons and choices as you proceed from here to engage in your chosen career paths, vocations and professions. And to the many friends and families who are gathered here today, you have sent your young people to us as students, whose lives are forever enriched by this truly great, wonderful and unique experience that is forever Otago! Yes. And so today we proudly present them back to you as graduates and diplomats of Te Whare Wānanga o Otago, the University of Otago. Nō reira, inga mana, inga reo rauranga tira mā tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa, kia ora.
Thank you, Professor Broughton. The first verse of the New Zealand National Anthem will now be sung, first in Maori and then in English. The words are printed inside the back cover of the graduation booklet. Please stand. Please be seated. By the authority of the University of Otago, I, Royden John Somerville, Chancellor, will now confer degrees and award diplomas of the University upon those declared qualified to receive them by the Vice-Chancellor, Pro-Vice-Chancellors and Deans concerned, and upon those listed in the programme, but not present. The Acting Vice-Chancellor.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the graduation in the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and for the award of the Postgraduate Diploma in Clinical Psychology, Madeleine Mary Dykes. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Amir Armini Kuzani. Antoine Jacques Marcel Bagnara. Lewis Chapman Baker. Christina Elise Bright. Matthew Druce. Shang Fan. Shi Hao Hai Gong. Joanna Celia Crane Houlihan. Shi Hao Bin Hua. Nimesh Kankaria. Anna Kloiben Schedel. Elizabeth Marion Louise Lippett. Andrew Robert Nilsson. Elizabeth Atino Okanga. Franz Dion Ombler. Eunji Park. Brandon Parker Rooley. Sanja Singh.
From now on, graduates will be crossing the stage mainly in small groups. Please delay your applause until after the last name in each group has been announced. Thank you. The Pro Vice Chancellor, Division of Humanities.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Arts and the degree of Bachelor of Science, Flynn Arden Robson, Danielle Louise Turner.
the Pro Vice Chancellor, Division of Sciences.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Master of Science and for the award of the Postgraduate Diploma in Clinical Psychology, Amy Grace Spies and Ellen Mary Wright. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Master of Science, Lynn Coral Ando, Kieran Elms, Rachel Charlotte Fiskin. Verity Forbes, Lewis Monroe Forrester, Jackie Claire Foster. Madeline Rose Glover, Benjamin Demetrius Hanara, Matthew Danny James Hunter. Justin Chen Lowe and Henry Carter Mannering. Jessica Alice McIntyre, Hamish Daniel Prince, Oliver William Rees. Nicola Helen Sarmond, Lachlan James Scarsbrook, Jacobus Johannes Swart. Melenaite Tohi, Kelsey Helen Wallace, James Byron Walmsley. Kay Wong, John Donald Ward, Erin Sophie Waitman. Jai Dylan Palmer Whelan and Shay Ruby Wickham. Ella Marguerite Williams and Gina Marie Wilson. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours and the degree of Bachelor of Laws and the degree of Bachelor of Science, Ubinaya Juunti. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours and the degree of Bachelor of Science, Nina Seri Ponsi Batukan and Warwick Allen Mackey. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, Joshua Stephen Bardwell, Alex Finn Bowles, Emma Rose Bultitude. Sophie Marie Francis Kaywood, Nikita Ellen Chesney, Paul Logan Crom. Henry James Dunn, Lucina Ann Martinez Hughes, Edward Cato Moody. Elliot Jack Nicholson, Moisley Grace Castro Okariza, Rawari James Ratahi. Kieran John Redpath, Georgia Elizabeth Scott, Palak Shrivastava. Dana Jean Sissons, Caitlin Marie Tippett, Laura Elizabeth Wedlock. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Science and the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science, Jack Bernard Royal. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Science and the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Aliana Marie Courtney Boyd and Jack Francis Mataira Coman. Georgia Kate Mann and Henry Peter McCallum. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Science, Ioana Leilani Abernathy, Suhaib Khalid M. Aljani, William Drummond Ashford. Zena Orby, Logan Harry Bartosh, Holly Kerahi Bates William. Jack Edward Bokey, Karis Beddoe, Lily Shirley Rose Biggs. Rena Te Awarangi Brooking, Tom Matthew Brooks, Natasha Ann Brown. Victoria Rachel Ludbrook Brown, Josiah Lee Bugden, Francesca Isabel Calderon Montifrey. Phoebe Imogen Caldwell, Liam Connor James Carrington, Jessica Ann Carter. Finn Lamantia Casey, Nikita Priya Chand, Peter Mark Lawrence Cheel. Sandra Santosh Chialat, Prakriti Chitri, Theodore John Edward Christensen. Yep. Hayden Ray Christie, Rebecca Monique Crystal, Angelica Maria Clark. Austin Levi Clark, Bethany Susan Coates, Bridget Grace Collins. Stella May Collins, Katie Joan Cooper, Nadine Paris Cooper. Sarah Irene Copeland, Kima Teresa Costello, Elliot Neil Cottle. William Mark Cedric Cottle, Oliver Joseph Sella Craig, Mackenzie Olivia Dagg. Nicholas Sebastian Daniels, Catherine Olivia Marian Davidson, Grace Ray Davidson. Cara May Davies Caldwell, Nina May Davison, Imogen Dufresne. Willow May De Younger, Kurt Bradley Dickey, Grace Code Driscoll. Zoe Teresa Dykesel, Hannah Grace Easton, Rosie Elizabeth Cope Elliott. Julian James Fawcett, Riley Tegan Fields, Hannah Rose Fotheringham. Blair Fullerton Smith, Nio Matheson Fulton, Shannon Georgia Furlong. Jessica Faye Galbraith, Michaela Janet Galbraith, Christopher George Garriott. Hazel Louise Gibson, Thomas Alexander Gibson, Joshua Ian Goodman. Gabriella Rosa Terina Gourlay Goodex, Keegan Richard Granger, Edwina Nicola Ellison Grant. Erin Elizabeth Greenwood, Liana Jean Hall, Alexandra Marie Hannaray. Peter Nicholas Soon Tiong Hatano, Sebastian Pieter Haywood, Tara Kate Hegarty. Jack Graham Henderson, Christopher James Hill, Sarah Ann Hogg. Arthur Hon Sheng, Sophie Amelia Barbara Hook, Nicholas Horlatcher. Grayson Carlin Ursig Howarth, Sonia Hua, Amy Jennifer Hunter. Nisha Cora Imerson, Emily Jane Jenner, Andreas Daniel Joe. Andrew Thomas Johnston, Courtney Ashley Johnston, Jacob Peter William Kay. Grace Elizabeth Kendall, Connor James Kennedy, Connor Francis Kennedy. Emily Rose Kennedy, Lauren Ivy Kitto, Zoe Francis Knudsen. Tetsushiru Konishi, Hannah Julia Landers, James Patrick Goodley Lawson. Hannah Grace Lewis, Kenan Liam Lombard, Josephine Yi Ting Lu. Rebecca Jane Lyons and Sophie Anna McMillan. Amy Elizabeth Martin, James Thomas Martinac, Jack David Matheson. Sophie Marie McCarthy, Kaylee McDiarmid, Liam McDonald Edmonds. Kelsey Brooke McFadgen, Makoto Stewart McLennan, Olivia Ann McManaway. Caitlin Charlotte Meister, Raina Grace Mitchell, Jack Ian Mockford. Brianna Elizabeth Morgan, Emily Kathleen Ellen Maurice, Lola J. Morton. Jacob John Mudford, Mark Charles Urquhart Murray, Thomas Ludwig Newman. Emily Georgia Nicholson Sell, Oliver DeBerry Noakes, Flynn Matthew Obadries. Matthew Eric Ogilvie, Millie Elizabeth Oldfield, Ben Robbins Parnaka. Nipa V. Patel, Magda Kate Paul, Rachel Olivia Pavia Smith. Caitlin Amelia Perry, Janaea Rose Bellett, Corey Murray Pomeroy. Portia Sydney Prangley, Megan Olivia Prentice, Isla Rose Pringle. Flora Mary Shauna Quinlan Thompson, Mahbuba Rahimi, Wetini Atutahi Rapana. Ella Rose Redmond, Madison Schuyler Reeve, Hollyford Rose Reed. Jackson Dylan Rich, Rachel Holly Richardson, Myrna Nagi Rizkala Dimitri Rizkala. Charisma Grace Roberts, Annalise Mary Robertson, Katrina Mary Robertson. Amy Wei-Jing Robinson, Taylor Ashley Rosie Forrester, Greer Jennifer Sanger. Herson Santamera Maria Herrero, Dylan Michael Shade, Carolyn Maria Sherman. Michelle Claire Scott, Yoshika Seladarai, Georgia Rose Shin. Laura Alice Simpson, Petra Hannah Simpson, Ranveer Sohal. Adiyesh Solanki, Jasmine Sowerby, Patrick Hugh David Spencer. Daniel Stacker, Annie Isabella Stanish Smythe, Ruby Florian Stempson. Sarah Isabella Stephen, Holly Elizabeth Stewart, Jacob David Syme. Jo Ray Kyan Paris Takai, Cameron Regan Tang, Michael Tang Smith. Anna Patricia Tarr, Justiva Louise Taylor, Zoe Jane Taylor. Heima Mayo Thane, Crystal Emily Thomas, Paratiso Vincent Toa Iloa. William Alexander Holmes Ravel Trapeznik, Liam James Turner, Kiara Anahira Van Gorkum. Jasmine Walker, Anna Frances Wallace, Rebecca Haley Warwick. Lily Carmel Waters, Michael Robert Hugh Webb, Bailey Simone Wild. Kira Tony Willems, Katie Rose Winter, Paige Aya Winthrop. Megan Elizabeth Wood, Madeline Jane Wild, Phoebe Grace Winans. Tal Yosef, Jessica Ashley Young. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation and the degree of Master of Science Communication and for the award of the Postgraduate Diploma in Science Communication, Mary Susanna Rabbage. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation and the degree of Master of Dietetics and the degree of Bachelor of Science, Hannah McHurgo-Wislang. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation and the degree of Master of Dietetics, Natalie Leah Ashton, Claire Francis Carville, Vincenzo Nico Costa. Africa Molly Tuani Delacour Peters, Philippa Claire Dingle, Georgia Finney. Jessica Whitley Ford, Jennifer Trudy Gale, Claire Janet Henderson. Kelly Ray Latimer, Simone Joy Mead, Huey Min Earn. Jessica Emma Roper, Choi Sun Sang, Aisu Shaheen. Olivia Katie Spencer, Sharon Jane Sutton, Jessica Lee Thompson. Kimberly T. Lang, Lucy Margaret Napier Trollope, Maria Lauren Wright. Kathy Zhu and Jia Min Yap.
The Dean of the School of Biomedical Sciences.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences, Nicholas Joe Smith.
The Pro-Vice Chancellor, Division of Commerce.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Katrina Ann Stephen.
The Pro-Vice Chancellor, Division of Sciences.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the award of the Postgraduate Diploma in Science, Margot Jane Mira LA and Elliot William Arthur Bean. Pia Boot Choiglintes, and Nishma Kutikaden Pauli. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the award of the Diploma for Graduates, Emma Victoria Duffy.
The University of Otago Capping Sextet has been a mainstay of university music making for over a century. The sextet continues to delight and offend audiences with a unique brand of musical satire. It has a long tradition of entertaining graduates at graduation ceremonies and performing at the University Capping Show. The 2021 sextet members are Mark Wigglesworth, Callum Fisher, James Smythe, Jack Fisher, Robbie Smith and Finn Shaw. And today the sextet will perform the Scottish folk song Loch Lomond, arranged by Vaughan Williams. It is with great pleasure that I invite the sextet to perform.
On bonny banks and by on bonny brae, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love will ever want to gae, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Tuck the high road and I'll tuck the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Was there that we parted in yon shady glen, by the steep, steep sides of Ben Lomond, where deep in the Mulhew the Highland hills behold, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, he'll tuck the high road and I'll tuck the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. The wee birdies sing and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping. But the broken-hearted can't nae second spring again, for the woeful may cease from their greeting. Oh, he'll tuck the high road and I'll tuck the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again by the bonny banks of Thanks very much. It's a great pleasure to always come along and be involved with these graduation ceremonies and celebrate the successes of our students. We've just got one last short song that we'd like to sing for you all this afternoon, and it is a toast to today's graduands, to all past graduands in the audience, as well as any future graduands. This one's for you.
Bright Otago days, oh carefree days that fly, to thee we'll sing with our glasses raised on high. Let's drink our toast as each of us recalls ivy-covered professors with ivy-covered gonads. Soon we'll be out amid the cold world strife. Soon we'll be sliding down the razor blade of life. But as we go sordid separate ways, we shall never forget thee, thou golden Otago days.
Thank you to the sextet for those fine performances. This afternoon, I'm delighted to welcome our graduation speaker, Dr. Gemma Gigan, an evolutionary biologist and virologist. Gemma is a senior lecturer in the university's Department of Microbiology and Immunology, and is also an associate scientist at the Institute of Environmental Science and Research. This year, she is co-leading a project in which genomic sequencing is used to track the evolution of the COVID-19 virus and its transmission chains within New Zealand. Dr. Gigan is from Scotland and would have enjoyed that song, and graduated BSc honours degree from the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow, followed by a PhD from the University of Otago. She then travelled to the United States, where she worked with a group at New York University on HIV research, before winning a postdoctoral fellowship from the University of Sydney. She later established her own research group at Macquarie University in Sydney, before moving back to New Zealand in early March 2020, just prior to the national lockdown. During the lockdown, she juggled the care of her then one-year-old daughter, as well as a busy schedule of research and teaching responsibilities. Dr. Gigan has recently been awarded a Rutherford Discovery Fellowship from the Royal Society of New Zealand. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Gemma Gigan to deliver the graduation address.
Tēnā koutou katoa, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the University Council, my colleagues, and to the proud families and friends, and to you. For most people, their final year at university is the most challenging one. But for you, well, it was the year that the world stood still, and it will be remembered in history as the year of COVID-19. You have graduated during an unprecedented global pandemic. It was caused by a virus that jumped from wildlife into humans and quickly swept the world. It caused the world to lock down. It led to healthcare systems being overrun, and it has caused devastatingly high rates of mortality and morbidity. But in New Zealand, we took a different path. We were told to stay home to save lives, and that's what we did. And in doing so has meant that we can be here today to celebrate together. We can be here in 3D when most of the rest of the world faces record numbers of reported cases and deaths and even more inevitable lockdowns. So let us focus on what can become of our experiences through this extraordinary year in history. Let us focus, or try hard, to find the silver linings. I too am part of a cohort that graduated during a notable year in history. That was the global financial crisis, but that seems a bit insignificant in comparison. But nevertheless, the post-university paths were somewhat uncertain back then. And for me, while navigating the unknown, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do. As a fresh young graduate, I was eager for adventure. So I decided to leave my small hometown in Scotland and move to the furthest away place possible, Dunedin. I also decided it was going to be much easier to stay at university rather than leave and face reality, so I undertook a PhD here at Otago. I often think back to that time, that in circumstances were different, easier perhaps, maybe I wouldn't have had a strong desire to escape, and I wouldn't have come to this extraordinary place on earth I now call home. And I wouldn't have met my Kiwi husband or had our Kiwi daughter. And I wouldn't have met those lifelong friendships that, while flatting as a student, when it was colder inside than out. And I wouldn't have had that vital mentorship that I experienced here at Otago. I wouldn't have gained the qualifications that allowed me to take up research positions around the world, first in New York and then in Australia, working with world-class researchers at the forefront of my field. And I wouldn't have gained those invaluable experiences that would eventually allow me to find a path to come back here to the University of Otago. And I'm really just at the beginning of my research journey. My research interest lies in understanding how viruses evolve. Viruses are perhaps the best exemplars of evolution by natural selection, where their evolutionary processes can often be so rapid they can be seen in real time. Darwin would have loved viruses. I study virus evolution on both the macroevolutionary scale, where viruses and their hosts have co-evolved for hundreds of millions of years, and at the microevolutionary scale, where a seemingly novel virus jumps a species barrier and emerges in a new host, and how it might then evolve where it spreads in populations through space and time. So in late 2019, when we were making plans to move back to Otago, I had a fleeting moment of panic about what I should work on next. Little did I know about the next few years we were all about to experience. Looking at the pandemic through a lens of an evolutionary biologist allowed me and my colleagues to see the value in sequencing the genomes of the virus to better inform our response to COVID-19. I think it's fair to say that genomics has played a starring role in New Zealand's response, and everyone in New Zealand now knows the term genomic sequencing. But when I was sitting where you are now, I can tell you I didn't have a clue what I was going to do. I didn't know that I would be working at the forefront of the response to a global pandemic, but I could see where I could add some value. This year, we will remember the lockdowns, the disruption, the fear, and the sickness. But if we search for those silver linings, most of all, there is an incredible transformation in the enthusiasm for science. We are just 16 months into the worst global pandemic in 100 years, but science has enabled over 1 million coronavirus genomes to be sequenced and shared to track new variants in real time. Science has informed the development of cutting-edge vaccine technologies, and science has aided mathematical models to understand the virus's trajectory that informed our elimination strategy in the first place. In short, and I hate to quote Matt Damon, but we've scienced the shit out of it. Some 20 years from now, when you're running your world-class scientific research institutes or you're the CEOs of the world-leading companies, you will tell your students and your employees how you graduated during the pandemic. And the resilience that you learn from this experience is a secret to your success. You have shown how to overcome uncertainty, and because of this, you'll be a better scientist than those who have come before. The pandemic has changed the world, but you who graduated during this time in history are the ones who are best equipped to lead us into this change. You have the opportunity to lead us into the new post-pandemic age. So as variants and vaccines dominate our lives this year, I urge you to use your education and see where you can add some value. You don't have to know yet what you will do or where you will do it or how you will do it. Just know that as you navigate this uncertain time, opportunities exist for you that you probably don't even know about yet, but you can seek them out and you can remake this world. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gigan, for your thoughtful and engaging address this afternoon. We've enjoyed hearing about your personal and research journeys. Our graduates have displayed qualities of adaptability and resilience, which have been necessary when dealing with so much disruption. We trust that they are able to see the silver linings and take advantage of opportunities in the post-COVID world, which will be characterised by uncertainty, complexity, and constant change. I ask you please to join me once again in thanking our speaker. I also wish to thank the Acting Vice-Chancellor, Professor Nicholson, and our academic and professional staff at all of the university's campuses throughout New Zealand. We wish to thank them for their outstanding contribution to ensuring our students benefit from the emancipatory power of an excellent university education. Thank you also to our staff for their tireless work during the pandemic, ensuring that the university continues to maintain its teaching, research and outreach programs. The University Council is very conscious of the empathetic and collegial way that all staff have supported our students and their colleagues during the alert levels. I invite you to join me in expressing our appreciation to our extraordinary staff. To you who have graduated or received diplomas, I offer the congratulations of the university on your new status, and I welcome you to its full and permanent membership. I charge you by the common bond that now unites us, henceforth to cherish the good name and reputation of the university, and to strive for the advancement of knowledge and the extension of understanding. I trust that in your different vocations, your lives may be fruitful of good to yourselves and to those among whom you live. On behalf of the University Council, I thank you all for sharing in this celebration, particularly those of you who have travelled long distances to be here. I wish you a safe journey home. The academic anthem, Gaudeamus, will now be sung. The words are printed inside the back cover of the graduation booklet. Please stand for the anthem and remain standing as the academic procession retires. Kia ora.